How you feeling?
And I'm feeling good. Just taking a day at a time, just chilling and staying.
Prosecutors showed many videos of Lil Durk to the judge, and this changed his release date. A new file was unsealed, and it linked Durk to the case of Stephen Mack's passing. Officials believe Mack was targeted because of what happened to Durk's brother, D-Tang, on January 27, 2022. As part of the case, they showed an Instagram story that Durk posted just 30 minutes after Mack passed away. In the story, he wrote, "For D-Tang." The next day, Durk posted another story where he was laughing and said, "DK boy folks always said slap con." When this went viral, even Kanye West reached out to talk to Durk. But things got even more serious. Later, it was announced that prosecutors were looking at more than 230 gigabytes of digital evidence. This includes audio recordings, video clips, and 20,000 pages of reports. And as they kept searching through all of it, prosecutors found that Lil Durk may be linked to 2 more cases. Court reports say that federal agents believe Durk paid to have 2 people taken out. The first person was Stephen Mack, who was accused of being involved in the passing of Durk's brother, D-Tang. The second person was Jam's baby mother, who passed away after Durk found out that Jam was secretly recording him. Officials think Jam is the key to connecting Durk to all 3 cases. In one Instagram live, Durk seemed to realize that Jam was wearing a wire. During the live, Jam was holding the top of his jacket and whispering. Durk then said, "I am not going to lie, like back in the day. Oh my, oh dang, check on your man. I am not going to lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I happened to architect family who happened to dare school. All that woofing on the internet got your metro." Durk had a lot of trust in Jam, which made things worse for him. He even gave Jam $50,000 when he got out of jail. At one point, Durk spoke about Jam, saying, "What is his name? He keeps crying, he keeps crying. Feed him, feed him. Look bro, you see that? For my baby, that is really how you all hold your babies, is it not? I got to hold my money like this, it is too. Man, this situation is crazy. My mom is out here doing all these sneaky things on the internet, playing games, acting like we are not winning. But I can do whatever I want. I am not stuck like that. You all cannot do what I do because you are broke. I am out here making money. I have been doing this for 12 years now. 12 years of hard work and making money. People do not understand how much we are really making or how we figured out the way to do it." Durk knew something was not right with Jam. He could tell something was off. In an interview, Durk said he had been playing a game of 3D chess the entire time. He saw from far away that Jam was going to cooperate with the authorities. People do not understand how smart Durk is. He can read people like no one else. He even stopped letting anyone come to his house months before he was arrested. He said no one, not even his best friend, was ever allowed to come over. That is real talk. I just do not allow people around my house or my kids. I am different from others. I am not the type to say, "Let's have family night at Durk's house." That is not how it works with me. When people come around me, I watch everything closely. I need to make sure no one gets too close to my kids. I have to pay attention to everything. That is how I do things. I do not play around. Durk found out about Jam's betrayal too late. By the time Durk was locked up and unable to take matters into his own hands, he had to rely on others to handle things. Reports later revealed that Jam had been hiding out in a house just outside of Atlanta. Sources close to the situation claimed that Jam got what was coming to him for cooperating with the authorities and telling on Durk. It was even said that there was a photo showing the place where Jam had been staying. The prosecutors tried to convince the judge that Durk had been ordering hits from jail. They believed that Durk was still controlling things even while behind bars. However, the judge quickly dismissed these claims, making it clear that there was not enough evidence to prove that Durk was responsible for directing any actions from inside the prison. The judge did not buy into the idea that Durk had been organizing anything from his cell. In response, Durk's legal team stepped in to defend him. They argued that Durk should be released from jail, and they provided the judge with several reasons to support their request. The lawyers made a case for why Durk deserved a bond and pointed out that he had a right to be free while awaiting trial. They emphasized that there were factors in his case that made it unfair for him to remain behind bars without a bond. They explained that Durk had a stable life, with responsibilities like caring for his family, which were important to consider. Durk's lawyers also addressed the accusations from the prosecution, saying that the claim of Durk ordering hits from jail was based on weak evidence. They highlighted that the photo and other materials presented by the prosecution were not enough to make any strong connections. They suggested that the prosecution was overreaching, trying to link Durk to actions that may have been carried out by others without his direct involvement. The lawyers made it clear that Durk was not the one who had been in control of every situation and that he had been unable to act due to his time behind bars. They pointed out that the legal system should not punish him further based on assumptions or weak evidence. They argued that Durk should be treated fairly, just like anyone else, and given the opportunity to fight his case while out of jail, rather than being kept locked up without proper cause. The defense team also mentioned Durk's personal situation, explaining that he had a solid support system outside of prison. They emphasized that Durk had a family and responsibilities that he needed to attend to. His lawyers argued that keeping him in jail would only harm his family and cause unnecessary stress, especially when he had not yet been proven guilty of the charges against him. In the end, Durk's team asked the judge to consider his rights and the facts of the case, not just the accusations and rumors. They wanted the judge to look at Durk's life outside of the prison walls and see that there was no strong reason to keep him locked up. His lawyers believed that Durk's release on bond would be the fair decision, as he had already been through a lot and deserved a chance to defend himself from outside of jail. The entire situation seemed to be a result of a mix of misunderstandings and weak accusations, and Durk's lawyers worked hard to show that there was no real reason for him to remain incarcerated. They presented a case focused on fairness, the presumption of innocence, and the need for proper legal process, which they felt had not been fully respected in Durk's case so far. They believed that with the right legal approach, Durk would be able to clear his name and prove that he was not responsible for any of the actions the prosecutors were claiming. The prosecutors tried to use Durk's music as evidence to support their case. They claimed that he was self-snitching in his lyrics, suggesting that his songs contained confessions or hints about his involvement in crimes. The prosecutors specifically pointed to a couple of songs, Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which Durk recorded with Babyface Ray. They argued that the lyrics in these songs, particularly the line about someone passing away, were evidence that Durk was bragging about something that had not yet happened, implying he was involved in the situation surrounding Lil Baby's death. However, Durk's lawyers pushed back against this claim. They showed that the song, Wonderful Wayne, was actually recorded long before Lil Baby's passing, 7 months before to be exact. They presented a court document from the studio where Durk had recorded the song, which confirmed that it was made in January 2022. This was months before the tragic incident involving Lil Baby. By showing this evidence, Durk's legal team proved that the song's lyrics were not related to the events the prosecutors were suggesting. The specific lyrics that had raised suspicions were from the song where Durk raps, "Look on the news and see your son." The prosecutors had argued that these lyrics referred to Lil Baby's passing, but Durk's team made it clear that this line was written well before that tragic event occurred. They argued that the lyrics in question had nothing to do with the situation surrounding Lil Baby's death, and that the prosecutors were simply jumping to conclusions based on a misunderstanding of when the song was recorded. Durk's lawyers used this to show that the accusations against him were not grounded in fact. They pointed out that the prosecutors were trying to link a song he made months before the incident to something that happened after the fact, which they believed was a clear example of how the prosecution was reaching for evidence that did not actually exist. By showing the timeline of when the song was created, Durk's lawyers were able to disprove the claims that he was using his music to self-sabotage or to confess to anything. In addition to clearing up the confusion about the song, Durk's legal team also stressed the importance of understanding that music, especially in the rap genre, often contains fictional stories and creative expressions that should not be taken literally. They argued that just because Durk rapped about something in a song does not mean that it directly connects to real-life events or actions he took. This is a common misunderstanding, as rap music is often full of exaggerated stories, metaphors, and artistic expressions that should not be confused with actual confessions or admissions of guilt. By presenting the timeline and the studio documentation, Durk's lawyers were able to show that the prosecutor's argument was built on a weak foundation. They proved that the lyrics in question were not related to any real-life crimes, and they made a compelling case that the prosecution was misinterpreting Durk's music in an attempt to make it fit their narrative. This entire situation highlighted how difficult it can be to separate an artist's creative work from their personal life, especially when it comes to music that touches on themes of violence and street life. Durk's legal team was able to show that his music should not be used as proof of criminal behavior, and that the prosecutors were wrong to suggest that his lyrics were a confession or a sign of self-incrimination. In the end, this aspect of the case showed just how important it is to look at the full context before making accusations. Durk's legal team demonstrated that the lyrics in question were not evidence of a crime, and that the song was recorded months before the incident that the prosecutors tried to link it to. By doing this, they effectively countered the prosecution's claim and helped to show that Durk was being unfairly targeted. This part of the defense was an important step in proving that Durk's music and personal life should be seen separately, and that his songs should not be used as evidence in a criminal case without proper context. Quando Rondo reacted with panic when he saw Lil P's passing, screaming, "No, no." The man with him in the car was also frantic. The feds later connected some of Durk's lyrics to the situation. In one of his songs, Durk raps, "Told me they got an Addy. Go. They got the location. Go." And the prosecutors think this links to Brick Baby. Brick Baby had said that he would have given Quando Rondo's location to Durk if he had asked. Brick Baby explained that there is nothing wrong with giving his friend the address. He said, he lost his boy, so why not help him? He also admitted that if Durk had asked him, he would have given the location. He even said that he could leak some information if Durk called on him. Luckily, he decided not to snitch. But just a few months later, Brick Baby went on an interview and said, "You cannot say that Durk never slid for King Von anymore because they got Lil Pab." He said this after hearing about Durk being locked up. This could have easily drawn the feds' attention to Durk. The feds started to look into things more closely because of what Brick Baby said. They were paying attention to comments like that, especially since there were federal charges in California related to FBG Cash. The feds first noticed that the suspects in Lil Pab's case were closely connected to King Von and FBG. A video showed D and Boogie shopping with King Von a few years ago. This gave the idea that the motive behind Lil Pab's passing was revenge.
Ever allowed to my house? It be. Our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
DJ Academics later explained the meaning behind Durk's album name, Almost Healed. In the album, Durk shows a timeline of the pain he has gone through. He talks about how 2020, when Von passed, led to his brother's death in 2021. In 2022, the people who were responsible for his brother's death were taken out. And by 2023, Durk released music about everything that had happened. It is his way of showing how all these struggles and events have shaped him and his music. Durk's album, I'm Almost Healed, really makes you think. It is almost like telling a story. He talks about 2020 when his brother passed away, then in 2022 when he got revenge for both his brother and King Von. By 2023, he is saying he is almost healed. When you look at it like that, it is crazy. The album caused a lot of rumors to start. People began saying that members were snitching on Lil Durk. That is when Visa spoke up to calm everyone down. He said, "No one knows what is going on except the people in the courtrooms. Y'all don't even know the truth. Y'all are out here acting like detectives, making up stories. First, you started the rumors about Jam, and now you are saying Vonnie and the gang are snitches. Y'all don't know what is really happening. That is why I stay away from anything illegal. Y'all just want to get people locked up." Durk himself also addressed the rumors during a phone call from jail. He made it clear that he is staying strong and will not go into protective custody. In the call, Durk said, "It does not matter where I am. We have been through so much together. We never did anything for money after that first time. Once we were back, it was over. It is not about where you are from or what you have. I am fine. I have been through worse. A lawyer working on Durk's case believes that he could be released from jail soon. It all depends on how badly the U.S. Attorney and the Assistant U.S. Attorney want to pursue the case. If they really want Durk, they could make deals with people involved. The question is, how badly do they want him out? When it comes to making a deal, they usually go after the easiest target first, the person who did the least. They try to find someone who might not have been too involved and could be convinced to talk. They offer a deal that seems really good, and if that person does not take it, they move on to the next one. This is a common strategy, going after the one who is most likely to flip. What makes this case even more interesting is that it is not just about money. They also mention that it could be about money or even getting ahead in their career. This makes everything a little more complicated. Kodak Black's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, believes Durk might still have a chance to beat the charges in the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case unless someone decides to testify against him. He said, "I am not ready to say that they have a clear and strong case against Durk Banks. They still have a long way to go to prove that he was part of this conspiracy." Cohen pointed out that so far, the only evidence they have is a text message where Durk says, "Do not have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they are taking." While this is not great, Cohen believes it is not enough to build a strong case. He also said that if they have more solid evidence like a snitch or video and audio recordings, that would be much stronger. But right now, the evidence is just circumstantial, and it is too early to say if they really have a solid case. Durk's lawyers also brought up how his situation in jail is not good. He was moved quickly to a different prison because of problems in his cell block. Being a high-profile rapper might have made him a target for people trying to get money or commissary from him. His lawyer told the judge about the situation, showing that Durk is under a lot of extra pressure in jail. Some people believe that Quando Rondo's actions were his way of getting revenge on Durk, while others think it was just a coincidence. But there are some who believe it was the best way for Quando and his crew to get back at Durk. Tim, someone close to Durk, explained how Durk ruined his own life trying to get revenge for a fight he and Quando Rondo had already agreed to end. Tim also talked about how he felt when he found out King Von had passed. "I thought to myself, if I had not done something stupid the night before, Von would still be alive," Tim said. "But I didn't know. That is just the type of person I am. I try to stay humble because I do not want to disrespect anyone, especially not his mom. I could easily get caught up in all that drama and try to get attention, but that is not who I am. I am a humble person. But if things had been different, it would not have gone down like this." Quando Rondo said something similar, but he also talked about how Durk left his family, even though he is the one who should be taking care of them. He said, "Whoever is on my side, they have kids and a mom who love them a lot. At the end of the day, all of this fighting and drama is pointless. It could have been handled in a much better way. There could have been a song, maybe even millions of views or money from it. It could have been dealt with in a real way, through music, without all this unnecessary conflict."